Welcome to Pisces Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Pisces Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at Pisces Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we about to get into somebody's business. Good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift, and good evening to our international family. What's up to all of my friends who are watching on TikTok behind the scenes? Good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are new to the Pisces Tarot experience, go ahead and put a star in the chat. If you are a returning friend, go ahead and put a fish in the chat. We want to recognize all of our new and our existing friends that are here today. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, everybody, listen. Today's agenda consists of a brief energy cleanse followed by a sound bowl cleansing, some divine insights, which is a divine download and or earworm, as well as an overall energy reading that covers some insights and general observations, followed by the tarot card reading, which will confirm everything that I told you leading up to that moment, as well as provide you with some closing thoughts. So before we move forward, I just want to say good morning to all of my new people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And if y'all are ready to get into this reading, go ahead and find the scrub brushes. Go ahead and find the scrub brushes because it is time for us to clean up our energy and put ourselves into a position of receiving. So if you guys are interested in getting into this reading, let's see those scrub brushes. I love the little scrub daddies, but let's go ahead and get into it because I don't want to delay this. I got this earworm and it's just like, ooh, for real, this is how we feeling today. All right, so here we go. Now, before we move forward, it's always important to just level set and ground ourselves and put ourselves into a place in a position of receiving. And the simplest way to do this is through breath work and sound. Now, some of y'all been up all night. Some of y'all been partying all night. Some of y'all might be arguing with somebody all night. Some of y'all may not be able to sleep and tossing and turning. Some of you are just getting up and getting started with your day. However, wherever you are in your life, it's important to just do this through cleansing our energy, through breath work and sound. And the best way to do this is just to inhale slowly, hold it, and exhale, okay? With each inhale, we want to invite clarity and balance. And with each exhale, we want to release any tensions or distractions, okay? So we're going to do this 3 times, all right? Here we go. Yes, listen, if you do that right, that could be very intoxicating. Okay, here we go. We got our girl Boo Boo. We about to clean the energy. Here we go. I didn't do that right. Let's run that back. Divine Spirit, you are welcome here. I call upon you to ask you for your guidance and your strength during this reading. Please surround me with your sound, your light, and your love. Help me to receive clear and accurate messages. May this reading bring insight and clarity for all of those who are involved for their highest good and for the harm of none. Amen, 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 amen. All right, y'all, listen, if y'all ready to jump into this reading, okay, if y'all ready to get into this reading and have some fun, honest, but safe interaction, reminder, this is a safe space. Your honesty and your transparency is appreciated. Ain't nobody judging you, boo. We all been a fool to love, and today just may be your turn. So if you guys are ready to jump into this reading and let me cook, honey, I need you to go ahead and find those cooking emotions. Find those scrambled eggs. Go ahead, whatever food that you can find in the emojis that's ready to chat, that's ready to cook, drop it down in the chat, because baby, I promise you, it is something thick coming through, okay? All right, so if y'all ready for it, go ahead and drop those cooking emojis. Go ahead and drop those cooking emojis, because y'all, I'm about ready to cook. Here we go. Now, each time before I start to do a reading, I always take a minute to reflect upon the immediate energies that Spirit is sharing with me. And sometimes it comes through the way of a earworm, and sometimes it comes through a divine download, okay? And so for me today, I am definitely getting I got a combination of things. Number one, Spirit was just talking to me really about knowing your worth and your value, which is an underestimated thing often, right? So knowing your worth and knowing your value, and knowing when it's time to just really have that discernment to know when to move on. And as we've been going through the retrogrades of both Mercury and Venus, that messaging has been more pronounced, coming through loud and clear through the collective readings for like the last week or so, okay? And I feel as though today will be of no difference, okay? I feel like today will be of no different. And the reason why I'm saying that is because as I was just like getting all of these divine downloads and just, understanding, first of all, Spirit said it's important to be grateful, right? And I know that when we talk about gratitude, when you're going through things, it's kind of hard for you to be grateful and to like preemptively be excited for things that are coming your way that you can't see because you're going through it, right? And you're in the thick of it, okay? However, what I am coming through to tell you is that it's time for you to get really excited about what's happening, because I feel like there's a lot of disruption going on in your life for valid reasons, right? With this, we went through 2 eclipses in the month of March. Okay, it was 2 eclipses. They were lunar eclipses. You also had 2 planets that were in retrograde. I checked out the planetary alignments earlier today. So right now we still have the sun and the moon in Aries, but then we also have Venus and Venus and Mercury. Both are in retrograde now in Pisces, okay? So we are almost there. We're almost there. We're almost through this. But during this time, y'all, it was very, very important for us to be able to release the things that are no longer serving us. And I told y'all in the beginning of this retrograde, when we started coming up on both of those, I said a lot of people are going to be breaking up during this season. And that has been consistently coming out during the collective readings, okay? So this morning, as I was just like wondering like how much longer we got of this, because like I kind of like estimated this won't be over until April 15th. Y'all, guess what song drops into my spirit as we are sitting up here? Like I'm literally sitting up here getting ready to do the live show. Guess what song drops into my spirit? It is Mariah Carey. Okay, it is Mariah Carey. The song is GTFO. Okay, now this wasn't one of her biggest hits, but this is one of her most recent hits. This song came out in like 2018. Okay. And I swear, I don't care what nobody say, I think this song is 100% about Nick Cannon. Okay, I ain't gonna hold you. That's my opinion. That's what I think. All right. And she talks about in the verse. Okay, she goes, "You took my love for granted. You left me and disenchanted." You know she loved that word. "Bulldoze my heart as if you planned it. My prince was so unjustly handsome. Who was that knight in shining armor? I could have sworn you loved me harder. Might as well drown me in this Cayman's bottle. I ain't the type to play the martyr. How about you get the F out? That's the whole song. And then she say, get the F out. How about you take your tings and be on your merry way? Fly away with the wind, bye-bye, baby. How about you, excuse me, Mimi, let me call you a valet, okay? How about you get your things and be on your merry way? Okay, so what she's saying is, at this point, she's just irritated with this person, okay? She's just like, you know what? And if you listen to the song, she talks about like her regret of not paying attention because she said her friends seen it. They know the type, you know, you played that role, but now I just want you to get out. She just like, you know, stop telling lies, you know, just get out. Like, if you don't got nowhere to go get with your friends, whatever. So like, this is the same energy of what I'm telling you. People are sick and tired of dealing with people who are no longer serving them. Okay. And this is about the release. And I swear to y'all, I'm not trying to come up in here and fill y'all head with this negativity about what's going on. I'm telling you what the energy is saying. Okay. So somebody is at that point. They at that point, y'all. They are at that point.
Get your shit and get out.
Now, listen. If y'all ready to get into this energy reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those tea kettles. Go ahead and find those tea kettles and drop those tea kettles down in the chat. Because, baby, I'm ready to get into this reading. I want to know who is telling somebody to get the, oh, job. Baby, it's Sunday morning. I ain't trying to start off the day like this, but you know, you got to say it how it's coming across. Get the out. Okay? That's exactly what is coming across. Okay? Get the out. All right? Get it out. All right? So if y'all ready to get into it, I need you to go ahead and find those tea kettles because, child, it's time. Here we go. Now, it's important to understand that when understanding energy, it's important to know that the universe speaks to us in an abundant of ways, okay? And sometimes it's through signs, synchronicities, it's through wonders, it's through a plethora of different things. God can talk to us through, you know, people and conversations, all those different things, right? So, let's see what the overall energy reading for today is. I'm just hearing her saying, how about you get the fuck out? And you know, Mariah Carey is so prissy and just so girly, right? So it's just like for her to be, I don't think she's ever cursed like that in a song. In all of her history of being Mariah Carey in 40 something years, I don't think I've ever heard her sing this song like this before. But I swear to you, it has got to be about Nick Cannon because I'm trying to understand what I don't know. That ain't my business. I just like the song, okay? So the overall energy reading for today is call of the muse, okay? Y'all see how she walking? Honey is not bothered, okay? Honey is not bothered. Honey is living her life. Honey is like, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to walk gracefully. This is what it is. This is what it is. And for those of you who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, baby, you are at that point where you just like, okay, I'm going to do me. I'm going to go on my merry way. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to have a good life. I done gave you everything that it was to give. At this point, I am moving on with my life because I am sick and tired of being told all these lies. I'm sick and tired of believing the fantasies. I am no longer here for the shenanigans anymore. I value my time. I value my life. I value my self-respect. Most of all, I value my dignity, okay? So at this point, whatever conversations that have been had leading up to this moment, you have finally woken up and realized that I am not here for it. I'm not here for it. At this point, you done did all the talking you can do. At this point, you done did all the listening you can do. At this point, you did all the negotiation and the compromise that you can do. At this point, you just sick and tired of dealing with this raggedy person over here.
You're ugly, you're skinny, you're shaped funny.
Okay? We there. We there. All right? The energy is aggressive. The energy is, again, I'm not going to keep on saying it because I don't want to keep on saying, but maybe that's the name of this reading for everybody, right? Maybe this is the name of the reading. How about you get the out? Get out. Okay, get out. That's just it. Get out. Like, I don't even have nothing else for you. Like, I just got 2 words. Get out. Get out. Get out. Okay? Now, what is the truth that we need to hear right now for our journey? What is the truth that we need to... I look down and I just saw in a comment on TikTok. Jen says, tired of being sick and tired. Honey, I'm trying to tell you, that is the energy.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
That's what we are. That's what we are. Okay, that is where we are. All right, so what is the overall, what is the truth that we need to hear for our journey this morning? What is the truth that we need to hear for our journey? Listen, at this point, let me throw up my viewer discretion advised.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Listen, we got to put it out there. All right, gratitude. Now, if you were here from the very beginning, I spoke briefly about gratitude. If you remember me talking about gratitude, go ahead and put your hand up in the chat. Just raise your hand in the chat if you heard me talk about gratitude. Now, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it represents, okay? Listen, baby, listen. When I tell you, I spoke briefly about this before I jumped into the earworm, and I talked about how it's hard to be grateful or to feel grateful for things as you're going through things in life, where it's like, it's hard to preemptively be grateful, okay? I don't know if y'all remember when I said that, but I said that, okay? And I said it very quickly, so if you weren't listening, you would have missed it, okay? But we got gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunity that it represents, okay? Listen, as you leave on this journey and you move on with your life, there is no animosity, there's no anger, there's no resistance, there's no hostility, there's no nothing. I am appreciative of what this has done for me, but it's time for me to go on with my life. I appreciate the time that we spent together, but it's time for me to move on with my life. I appreciate the children that you gave me, but it's time for me to free myself. I appreciate the memories that you gave me, but it's time for me to move on. And I am thankful for all that I am getting from this, all that whatever it is, right? That's how, listen, you tired. You tired when you start being thankful for your darkness, right? Because you like, at this point, something got to give. Okay? At some point, something's got to give. And it feels like you are just so exacerbated, or things have become so exacerbated that you are just so exhausted that you don't even have the energy to even fight for this no more. It's just like, I'm just going to be grateful that I'm here now. And I'm going to have some discernment, and I'm going to apply myself, and I don't care how dark it gets. I don't care how rocky it gets. I don't care about none of that. At this point in my life, I am going to move on with it and be happy and grateful that this is where we are. I am here. I am happy to be here. This is what it is. And I am no longer participating in what it's not. Okay? There is a pronounced numbness that is here. And it's just like, I am grateful. I am so grateful for the chance to just free myself. Like, you got to know what that feels like, to be so desperately in a situation where it's like nothing else is working, that this has got to work because nothing else is working. Okay? That's how this energy feels. All right? Now, and this is why she's walking away gracefully. This is why she's walking away gracefully. This is why she like, eat my dust. You know, go touch grass, you know, whatever. All right, whatever it is. All right. Now, here we go. What are some of the messages from the oracles for the hidden guys? Messages from the hidden guys. Messages. Okay. What is holy? What is true? Appreciation, witnessing the unmerited gift of grace. Y'all, look at this card. Didn't we just talk about this? Didn't we just talk about this? Okay. Now, listen, there is some type of awakening happening, and I've been talking about it, but it's here. This awakening is giving light to it feels like the sun is coming out. You understand? And I'm saying that because the sun is here, right? But there is an appreciation for how things are evolving and have evolved for you. But it's also recognizing that it's by the grace of the heavenlies that you're able to walk away. And I know that this may be very, very daunting for you, because I feel like the way that I'm describing this right now, it makes you feel like I'm making light of a dark situation. But when you are leaving toxicity and are freeing yourself, that energy is very light. It's no resistance. It's no more anger, resentment, hostility. It's no more none of that. There is a blessing in freedom. And at this point, there is a blessing in walking away. It's like, I'm good. I'm good. And I'm not going to lie to you. It's like all of the angel armies, all of your spirit team, all of your ancestors, everybody is like, thank you. Because if you understood how much they've been rooting for you to get the strength to be able to walk away and to move on, like, I don't think y'all understand, like, how I think sometimes our angels get frustrated with us, but everything has its own purpose, right? They keep showing you signs. They keep showing you things, you know, and for those of you who are biblical, think about the story with Samson and Delilah, right? Where she kept asking him to get information from him, and she kept throwing up all the red flags. And he just kept on going after that little girl because he was just so wooed by her, right? Think about there being indicators telling you, ooh, I don't think you should be doing this. I don't think you should be doing that. And you keep on going, right? You keep on going. And then when the stuff hit the fan, you be like, dang, how did I overlook this? Like, we got to stop giving excuses to people. We got to stop giving people permission to disrespect us. You got to recognize when the game is over. Stop playing. But we keep on playing, don't we? Now, what is the undercurrent here? Too many. What's the undercurrent here, Spirit? But this time, I feel like you're walking away gracefully. And I say this time because I feel like you've been threatening to leave before, but I think that you kind of like were hesitant to leave for a variety of reasons. But this time, you just like gracefully walking on away. Coral Castle, live with intention and purpose, aligning your actions with your deepest values and desires. So there have been conversations about what the next steps in this relationship, what should be, could be, all of those things like that. And it feels like, to me, the light bulb finally just came on that this person is never going to give you whatever it is that you have been wanting, okay? If it's the marriage that you finally woke up and realized, they're never going to give that to you. If it was the commitment, right? You finally woke up and realized that they're never going to give that to you. Whatever said thing looks like, okay? There has finally been some type of awakening to let you know that this is never going to become whatever it is that you dreamed of it becoming, right? And as I started out this whole reading talking about, that was the point of the retrograde this season. That was the whole entire point, for you to wake up and realize that everything that glitters ain't gold. Everything that shines is not a diamond. And there are a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing, per se. There's a lot of counterfeit things out there. And if you understand the story about Samson and Delilah, Delilah was definitely a counterfeit. She was definitely a fraud. Now, sorry, y'all. Yes, my allergies want to start bothering me. All right, so here we go. How is this showing up for us? Got to pay attention to the red flags. Got to have some discernment, but you also got to walk with gratitude. You got to walk and be thankful for even these things, because even when it feels like this had no purpose, everything in life has purpose. Everything in life has perfect purpose. Even when it feels like it's a waste of time, it's absolutely not a waste of time, okay? Now, how is it showing up for us? Somebody's been feeling stuck. You've been feeling stuck. You've been feeling like you have been cast away in a situation where you can't get out of. And again, in this instance, it feels like someone here has children, something that you cannot easily walk away from. This is where you feel stuck. But this is where you also are starting to get that empowerment, right? This is where it's like, you know what? I don't care. You can go touch grass. You can go lick sand. I don't care. I am walking away. I am grateful for everything that this has given me. I am grateful for the opportunity. I appreciate this. God is going to give me the grace to be able to do what I need to do for me and mine. I'm not going to be stuck in alignment with people that I don't agree with. Okay. I am never, I'm never going to be sitting up here aligning myself with somebody whose values are not aligned with mine, right? There is a whole lot of just awakening. Okay. And I keep going back to what Mariah said. She's saying in the earworm, you took my love for granted. You lost me and left me disenchanted, bulldozed my heart as if you planned it. My prince was so unjustly handsome. Who was the knight in shining armor? I could have sworn you loved me harder, right? So this person made you feel. They made you feel like this was something that was real. Like they put on this whole Grand Rio show that nobody asked them for, only to play games just to do you any old kind of way. That is the most humbling, irritating feeling to ever experience this. Okay? Ever experience this. It is humbling, where you just be like, what the heck? And you just be sitting there like, feeling like a fish dead in water. Okay? Feeling like a fish dead in water. Now, what is the soul whisper for today, Spirit? Empathy. Okay? This is about empathy with this turtle. All right? This is about empathy. All right, let's see what the book say. Y'all know I love the way they, put these messages in here. Empathy. Learning how to stand in someone else's shoes to see through their eyes. That's how peace begins. That is a quote from Barack Obama. We all come to the table of life with a different set of experiences and expectations that set the stage for our responses to the future. Even if you have trodden a similar path without ever walking in the shoes of another, it's impossible to truly know how that person feels. With this in mind, allow yourself to listen to others and as they tell their story, and as you feel their experiences through the burdens of your own. Embracing the experiences of others enables you to see the world through their own lens and cultivate understanding of their actions. Allow yourself to experience the struggle allow your own experience of struggle to provide you with the springboard by which to understand and develop a sense of empathy for others. So this is about you having an understanding, relatability, feeling and being compassionate. This is also about you overcoming being disconnected, distant, indifferent, and apathetic. Okay. This is dealing with both of the heart chakras. Now, if you are new to Pisces Tarot, we talk about how there's over 100 chakras, but we only focus on the 7. And this is talking about both the green and the pink chakra. You have 2 heart chakras. One is about how you give and receive love. The other is like how you connect with nature and dealing with animals. Okay. So it says, spending time outside its shell, the turtle becomes attuned to the earth and that surrounds it. Now I can't talk. I feel like somebody has problems with communicating, right? Like the turtle, you must adventure beyond your shell and tune into the experiences of others. Okay. So what does this have to do with your reading? Well, this is what it has to do with it. Okay. As you have reflected upon your time with this person, you are finally coming to the realization they just don't have what it takes. They don't have what it takes to be able to give you more than what they have been able to give you. And that requires a level of empathy and understanding to know that you cannot ask somebody to be something that they're not to you or for you. Asking somebody else to give you more than what they're capable of giving you, even when they have shown this to you, it's being naive and unrealistic with yourself. And when you continue to try to force somebody to be something that they're not, you're only going to frustrate yourself further. Which is probably why we're now at this point where you just like, this situation is dead in the water. I don't have nothing else for you. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what it is that I wanted with my life and what I need at this point. I am here where I am now telling you, get the out. That's where we are. That's what we are. Now, as we start to shift to more personal energies and the potential energies that are involved, please remember to focus on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't, okay? Don't overlook anything that I'm telling you without considering your placements. And I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, okay? But somebody is definitely walking away. Somebody is definitely walking away. They tired of feeling stuck. They tired of feeling like they talking to the wall. Just tired. You know, just tired. Okay, I told y'all somebody had kids. Didn't I tell y'all that? Pregnancy is here. Okay, so somebody was either expecting or just had a baby. But I definitely have told you that pregnancy is here. Okay, so there is a pregnancy involved in all this. What is the news? What is the news? Okay, frenemy came up. Fake friends, two-faced, and hidden intentions. That was about to fall out. Lift off, fast forward, action, progressing forward. The wait is over. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Quick, fast moving energy. You ain't never seen nothing like this, or they ain't never seen nothing like this, you know. I just hear Mariah Carey keep saying, how about you get the fuck out? How about it? All right. What is the tea here? What is the tea? I don't think people really take this serious. Like when a woman is fed up, it ain't nothing you can do about it, child. And that's what we are. Somebody is sick and tired of being sick and tired, baby. All right, what is the tea here, Spirit? What is the tea? What is the tea? Obsessive lover, dangerous, toxic, unhealthy, possessiveness, and karmic. Okay, so somebody was very focused, hyper focused on this relationship, overly focused on this relationship. Okay, started to adapt to some unhealthy possessive behaviors. Okay. And I'm guessing if there is a pregnancy here or was a pregnancy here, that helped facilitate some of this. Okay. It definitely facilitated some of this. Now, it's interesting because in the beginning, this felt really cute. In the beginning, this felt cute. It felt fun. It felt exciting. And then all of a sudden it wasn't. Okay. All of a sudden it wasn't. It got old. You know, they were originally attracted to your crazy. Okay. They were originally attracted to your crazy. And it just got out of hand. Okay. It just got out of hand. All right. Now, when we look at what lies beneath this, what lies beneath all of this energy, spirit? Oh, I hope this is not true. I hope this is not true. But I just heard for somebody, this person had something going on with a friend. That's why that frenemy card is here. I hope that's not true. All right. Now, there is some type of recording, some type of announcement, expression revealing. So there is some type of evidence of whatever happened. Okay. There is some type of evidence of whatever happened. And that was really what gave birth to the reason to like walk away from this. This is what really gave the clearance, right? This was like that wake up call. This was like trying to figure out what exactly is going on. You know, like this was like, oh my God, like I'm now coming into the realization that I'm over here just wasting my time. Like you never have any intentions on doing me right. You never have any intentions on being serious. You have never, this is where you're just like, I'm good. How about you get out? How about you just leave me alone?
Down.
That's where we are. All right. Now, when we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Excuse me. Excuse me. Allergies, pollen. All right. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? All right. Somebody was a jealous lover. They were very envious. They were spiteful. Being such a hater. Very envious. Okay. So when I tell you like there was such a toxic, and I hate to put this on the feminine energy here, but this is definitely coming in from the feminine energy here. Okay. It is definitely coming in. And rightfully so. Let's be clear, rightfully so. The feminine energy had every reason to be acting crazy. Air quotes, crazy. It feels like the feminine energy in this was led to believe, led to feel, led to think, led to misled. They were being misled. They feel like they were promised a lot of things that could not be delivered. Like this person stepped up into a character and created a narrative for shoes that they couldn't fill. I don't know if y'all have ever been there before when you meet somebody and they give you this representative and they give you this pitch and they give you this grandiose picture and image and set these unrealistic expectations that they cannot walk in. This is what happened to this person. And it was like they created this narrative. I feel like things moved very, very fast. And it feels like once there was a pregnancy involved or the birth of a child involved, it feels like that just inspired all kind of crazy to come out from this person, because it felt like the person who was pregnant felt like this person should have given them a little bit more respect and garnered a little bit more respect than what they were willing to give and get. And it just kind of like threw everything off. And it was just like, this is nuts.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, what is that?
So when we look at true emotion here? What is the true emotion? What was the true emotion? Okay, so person B is dealing with shame, guilt, embarrassment. They are in the wrong. They never expected for you to get tired of them, and they never expected for you to leave. They never expected for you to leave, okay? They are feeling ashamed. They are feeling guilty. This recording, whatever came out on this recording, whatever evidence that was had, this is what basically facilitated them to start feeling this way. Because see, everybody is cool with getting away with what they think that they're getting away with. But you got to keep in mind, in the universe, everybody knows everything because everything is interconnected. There is no way that you thought that you was getting away with anything. Okay? And that's the funny part. And like, I hate to bring them up, but think about this. Think about, for those of you who follow hip hop and R&B, think about Cardi B and Offset. Think about how he felt like when he made that disparaging comment and was like, "You my baby mama." Like, what does that mean? You think that somebody ain't gonna want her with 3 kids? What does that mean? She was married and had 3 kids. That's what happens as you get older. You meet people who have been married and divorced and who have children. So what does that mean? Just because you want to act stupid doesn't mean that ain't nobody gonna want me.
Goodbye.
Listen, people will take you as you are. People will take you as you are. When somebody wants you bad enough and they know that you've been married, divorced, or whatever, even if you haven't, if somebody really feels that connection to you, they would definitely come. They would definitely come. Now, what is the true crime here? Well, it wasn't that one. And I'm glad that fell out so I could put it at the bottom. All right, now. But the thing is, you don't have to feel stuck anymore. You do not have to feel stuck anymore. You do not have to feel like you don't have any options and you don't have any choices. Person A, the person with this baby in tow, is definitely feeling empowered. They're feeling inspired. They're like, you know what? I would rather run the risk of being called damaged goods. I'd rather run the risk of somebody overlooking me and making me feel less than to be here in a situation where you should be amplifying me. You should be lifting me up. You should be exalting me. You should be putting me on a pedestal. And instead of me dealing with this, I would rather go start all over again with that, because that is way better than this. At least I know what I'm getting myself into, right? So it's like, I am just at this point where it's just like, you know, I am doing my thing. All right. Now, somebody got caught at the hotel motel. Somebody got caught at the hotel motel, probably person B, because I'm telling you, it was something else that was here. Actually, I'm going to move this around. All right. Yeah. All right, there we go. Now, and I'm telling you, we got this frenemy card here, so it's very likely that one of the people that they were stepping out with was a friend of yours. Because we definitely have this frenemy card here. All right. Now, what is the yin and yang? What is the yin and yang? All right, doubts, lonely, negativity, not hopeful, discontentment. Okay, so somebody here is feeling very discontent, feeling lonely, full of doubts. I am definitely feeling like that's person A's energy. So the remainder of the cards will be for person B. Okay, because I definitely feel like person A feels kind of like, who's gonna want me with a young baby? Who's gonna want me with these kids? Who's gonna want, like, it's this woe is me narrative. Even though this person is feeling very inspired to walk away from this person, it is still it is still like that energy of, I can do bad by myself. I can do bad by myself. I'm not going to sit up here and play these games with you anymore. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not even going to try to fix this. This is a waste of my time, my effort, and my energy. But I feel like when you get by yourself, when all of that Billy Badass rubs off, you be over here like, dang, who really gonna want me? You know what I'm saying? It's like that sadness comes over you because this is not the life that you wanted. This is not the dream that you wanted. This is all of those things, and it's just very disappointing. Now, what is blocking this situation? Okay. Love sucks. You stop believing in love. Let yourself heal and you can be open again. So this person probably is very disappointed. Like I said, we already got the shame, guilt, embarrassed, and in the wrong card. So this person is definitely feeling very upset right now. They're feeling very down. They actually may be distraught. I'm getting the impression that this person can't believe that they did what they did. Okay. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say, that, this is, that they're remorseful. I think they're more so ashamed. They're more so ashamed because they got caught dealing with somebody that they shouldn't have gotten caught with. All right, Spirit. Tell me, was it love here from person's B side at all? Was it love here from person's B side at all? I just keep hearing Mariah Carey singing GTFO. Okay. Like 2 cards came out. Now, what's interesting is the first card that would have come out is, if you ask me, I will say no. They do not have love in that way. And I know you're probably like, what? Listen. These thorn bushes means they're conflicted feelings. So if you ask them, do they love you or are they in love with you? They will be very honest and say no. They will be very, very honest and say no. Okay? However, even though they may feel that feeling, okay, they do realize how special and unique you are. And let's be clear, that specialness is here because of this child, okay? So if you've ever heard people say, I love you because you're the mother of my kid, but I'm not in love with you. I don't want to be. That's how this is coming across, okay? That's how this is coming across. Again, this person never had no intentions. This feels like this was never supposed to become a co-parenting situation. Okay? But it feels like you guys are here. I hate to say it and describe it this way. This feels like one of those relationships that just came together by default. But it also feels like this was one of those relationships that kids just came out of it, but it was like, I'm just here just to be here. It's not because I want to be here. It's not because I ever saw you in this way or in this light. Like, it's a real weird energy. All right. Now, if y'all ready to get into whose business this is, I need you to go ahead and find those magnifying glasses. Go ahead and find those magnifying glasses because it's time for us to figure out whose business this is. Who is tired of feeling stuck with this person? Who is like, you know what? I don't care. You got me out here acting crazy. You got me embarrassing myself. My dreams and my values, my morals, my beliefs, my integrity. None of these things are in alignment with who you are as a person. And at this point, I'm a teapot boiling over. And I'm just at this point where I'm telling you, how about you just listen, it's here. Get the out. out. Okay? So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and put those magnifying glasses up. Put those magnifying glasses up in the chat. Because when I tell you, we about to get into this. We gonna drill in. We gonna zoom in. We gonna listen. We ain't gonna judge, but we sure gonna observe. And then we gonna come right on up out of here, okay? So put those magnifying glasses in the chat. Put those magnifying glasses in the chat because it's time for us to figure out whose business is this. Here we go. All right. Let's see. Spirit, whose business is this? Now, keep in mind, I do my readings for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. So remember to focus on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Okay. Also, unless you know where you and all your placements are, you can't say what is or is not for you. All right. So here we go. Person A. Who is person A? Person A is coming in as an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you or your person has fire sign placements in their chart, can you go ahead and put a fire sign in the chart? In the chat, put a fire sign in the chat. This is about you coming in as the Knight of Wands in reverse. This is about passion, anger, scattered energy, delays, and frustration, which is everything of what we talked about. Okay? It's everything of what we talked about. This person is sick and tired of being sick and tired. They have exhausted their patience with you. They are projecting their anger, their spirit. That goes with that dangerous, toxic energy that we talked about, the possessiveness. This also talks about them being spiteful, being hater, full of jealousy. Like, I almost feel like this person is also just doing things for attention, just lashing out. Okay? Just lashing out. All right? Now, person B in all of this. Person B in all of this is an earth sign. Okay? Excuse me, it's an air sign. It's an air sign. We got the Magician in reverse. So if you are a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, all right? Put the air signs in the chat if you or your person has air sign placements, okay? Air sign placements, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising, okay? Now, they're coming in as the Magician in reverse. This is manipulation, poor planning, untapped talents, insecure, lack of confidence, and narcissism, okay? Oh, child. So we got fire and air signs, okay? If you or your person is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or have air sign placements, go ahead and put either the fire or the air sign in the chat, because, child, it is time for us to get ready to get into this. Because, like, I want to know now, like, what is going on? And I'm going to be honest with you. If you knew the Pisces Tarot, or if you've been a returning guppy, you know, for some reason, this Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde has been tearing up fire signs, okay? It has been tearing up fire signs. So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and find those tea kettles. Go ahead and put your wine glasses up, your water bottles, whatever beverage it is that you're drinking. Go ahead and put it up in the chat because it's time for us to get into this tarot card reading, all right? Here we go. All right, y'all. So, what is going on with my fire and my air signs? Well, it's so interesting because I think that fire signs and air signs do make a good match. And the reason why I feel like they make a good match is because fire needs air, right? Fire needs air, right? You can't get fire without air, right? So it's a necessary need, okay? It's a necessary need, a necessary evil, all right? Now, This feels very, it feels very toxic. I ain't gonna lie to you. It feels very toxic. Now, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, your foundational, your present energy is coming in as the Two of Wands in reverse. Okay? You feel stuck. This is exactly what we've been talking about all this entire time. You feel stuck. Okay? We've already talked about that because that card has already come up here. All right? I just heard in my ear, right? I can't believe you played me. For some reason or another, you thought that something special was coming of this relationship. You thought that this was going to be a better connection than what it was. Again, this was never like a, I met you, I'm pursuing you, I dated you. This was kind of like a warm up, right? I see this being a slow burn. And it's just kind of like, oh, you just cool enough to kick it. And it just materialized into something else, which is this relationship. But if you really look at it, there was minimum effort put into it. This is kind of giving me like homeboy, homegirl feeling, honestly, that just turned into this relationship. It was kind of like one of these things, like it was just slow to really connect, right? You was just cool enough to kick it type of vibe. So once the connection was made, there may have already been some type of frustration there because it was like, you're not giving me the effort nor the energy that I expected for you to give. Y'all have ever been there before? If you've ever been in a relationship where you feel like your person is not giving you any effort, any energy, they're not giving you anything, right? Can you go ahead and just raise your hand in the chat? Just go ahead and raise your hand in the chat. Let's just tell the truth. Have you ever had a lazy lover? They don't put no effort, no energy. They don't even try. You know what I'm saying? Your birthday is the same day every year. And every year they got some tired ass excuse as to why they couldn't go to the store and get you nothing for your birthday. Just raise your hand in the chat. Let's just tell the truth and shame the devil. Now, let's also tell the truth and shame the devil. Even though you love this person with all your heart and all your soul and everything that's within you, you got tired of being embarrassed by this person's lack of effort too.
Embarrassing.
Okay? So let me ask you this question. If you are resonating with this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or person A in this reading, how did this energy affect your relationship? I want you to write that down in the chat. How did this energy affect your relationship? Did it make you feel unvalued? Did it make you feel like, I mean, like what? Because I mean, I can imagine if I were in an effortless relationship, I would be very unhappy. I can imagine that if I were in this situation, I'll feel very disappointed. I would be appalled. I would feel just perplexed, right? Like, why are you here? Why are you here? Right? Why are you here? That would be my thought, right? That would be my feeling. But I'm asking you, how did this energy make you feel? Okay, how did this energy make you feel? All right, now, too many cards, but that's interesting because I just said that, right? So I'm just gonna read these cards because they fell out and I saw it, but these two cards fell out, which was the Page of Cups and the 10 of Wands. Okay, so you got some type of wind that this was never going to be like a really good positive situation. This left you feeling very unhappy. This left you feeling very disenchanted and disillusioned. Okay, that's how that made you feel, which has also made you feel stuck. So that's where I'm going back to with that Page of Cups. That's where that pregnancy news came in. Okay, that's where that pregnancy news came in. All right, so you found out you was pregnant and you felt stuck because also, damn, this is not the outcome that I wanted. I didn't want to be in this situation to begin with, but now that we hear it, it is what it is, sweetheart. All right, so what is this overall energy for this Aries? I'm sorry, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in this. Where are they? Either you are pregnant or you will be pregnant or you have been pregnant. Like one of the two. All right. Now, person B is coming in right now as the 9 of Wands. All right. The 9 of Wands. Listen, they're not happy about this either. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this and y'all probably going to get mad at me. Hold on. But I can only tell you what I see. I can only tell you what I see and what I'm feeling, right? And it will be irresponsible of me to do this reading and not be honest and tell you. And again, remember what I always say. If it doesn't resonate with you, just disregard it, okay? But what I immediately just felt was when this 9 of Wands came out with this Magician card here, with this ashamed card, this person definitely feels ashamed, okay? And here's why. What is the question that they're asking me? What? Which of these questions is worn on here? Sorry, it made me do that. Okay. Now, with this sorry about that. TikTok distracted me. Okay. With this Magician card and this 9 of Wands here, I feel like this person was ashamed. And I know that nobody's ever ashamed of their children, right? Because you just be like, okay, it is what it is. But I definitely feel like person B was very resistant to the idea of y'all having a kid, okay? They were very disappointed and very upset. They were upset with themselves. But I also feel like what has happened is they tried to give this narrative. Remember, we talked about this narrative. We talked about this narrative. We talked about them putting on this show. We talked about that. If y'all heard me say that in the beginning of the reading, go ahead and put your ears in the chat. Because I said they created this narrative. They created this fantasy. They created this dream and set these expectations knowing that they couldn't keep up with it. Okay? And now that it's time for them to put in the work, they're trying to persevere, they're trying to move forward. But that's what's very manipulative about this, because this is where it is causing this discontentment in the relationship in part, right? In part, because they're keeping you here, making you feel bound and stuck under false pretenses. Okay. And this is what makes this very manipulative. Okay. So this is where it's like, yeah, okay, this is part of the reason why they ain't been really having forward movement action. This is why they've been effortless, because they feel like they're stuck too. So just like you feel stuck, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, they feel stuck as well. Okay. So if you are person B in this instance, if you are aligning with this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy, and or you are aligning or resonating with that energy, how is that making you feel? Trying to persevere with something that, you know, is dead in the water. Like, how do you, and if you look at his facial expression, he looks very angry. He looks very resentful that he's up here doing all of this work. He looks very resentful. Okay? Very resentful that he's trying to do all the work, trying to move forward, but it's not honest. It's not honest and it's not sincere. This person is so aggravated with the fact that they have got to be here. And granted, they done told you they done told you everything. They was like, oh yeah, you want to okay, let's do this. But the reality is they didn't want that.
You are the father.
Okay, they was just like, oh, okay. That was not the news that they wanted to hear. Now, what is the pros here? Well, we needed to come to this with this Wheel of Fortune. The best thing to happen here was that both of y'all started to feel stuck. Okay, both of y'all started to feel stuck. And now we have major arcana here on the board, right? So when we talk about this stuckness, right? This is where both of y'all feeling trapped. This is where both of y'all just feel like, okay, let's just try to move forward. Let's just try to make the best of this. Let's just try to continue to move forward. Let's just try to make the best of this situation. But it feels like you're pulling dead weight. Okay, it feels like both of you guys are pulling dead weight because they are being forced to be here in a situation they really don't want to be in. And I mean, like, listen, neither one of y'all really wanted this. Okay, let's be clear. Neither one of y'all wanted to be here. But it is what it is. And now that y'all here, y'all trying to make the best of it.
The ghetto.
Have you ever felt stuck in a relationship? I have to sneeze. Hold on. Excuse me. Have you ever felt stuck in a relationship and feel like nothing is working? Like you just here because you got to be here? Okay, you just here because you got to be here. But it's not because you want to be here. Right? And so this speaks back to that stuckness. If you've been feeling stuck in your relationship, how is this making you feel? And if you know that you are doing the best that you can with what you got, what is one way that you can change your mindset so that you can stop feeling that way? You know, like one thing is it that you can do to make you stop feeling that way? And I feel like some of this is starting to come in with the change in perspective, this gratitude, right? That's what I feel like it is. It's like, you know what? No, this situation is less than desirable. I wasn't expecting to be your baby mom. I wasn't expecting for this to happen. I wasn't expecting for none of this. I didn't anticipate that you was just going to walk off and go sleep with my friend or whatever, you know, but this is where we are. This is where we are. And I'm tired of being here now. Okay? I never asked for this. But this is where we are. And I'm deciding that I am no longer going to continue to go against the flow and force myself to be in a situation that is not fruitful, not healthy, and not beneficial for me and my greatest and my highest good. Okay? That's where we go back to the earworm where Mariah Carey was like, how about you get the out? Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, this has been a boiling point. This has been a point, a pivotal point where this water has been boiling for so long. And at this point, it is just hot. It is piping hot. And it's like, this is so explosive. It's about to blow up and hit the fan. And that's where we are. All right. Now, what is consequential or problematic about this connection? Okay. We got the Page of Pentacles in reverse. All right. So what has been the issue here is that while you're trying to persevere and move through with this situation, we have a lot of people that are watching and gossiping behind your back. Now, you're probably like, okay, what's new? I feel like it's a lot of things playing out on social media. Okay. It feels like a lot of rumors have been spewing. A lot of people are talking about like other people are noticing this disconnect. Okay. And it's crazy because it's like you got person A trying to save face, trying to continue to move through, trying to persevere, knowing that things are just breaking down, right? Like nobody wants to admit that they're losing. Nobody wants to believe that they lost, right? Nobody wants to experience that, right? But now the town is talking. Okay, now the town is talking. Now people are out here recognizing that something is not right. Okay, now other people are like, oh my God, like what is happening here? And you got people that is talking behind your back. You got fake friends, two-faced it, and hidden intentions here. Okay, now I don't know, but I feel like somebody is on the phone. Girl, let me tell you, child. I was down at the Piggly Wiggly and I seen Montez with Susie Q. Okay? Word is traveling fast. People are watching your social media. People are seeing the back and forth. Like, stop putting your business on social media. Okay, stop putting your business on social media, because that is what people are taking. Little tidbits of information that you have shared on social media, they're taking that information and they're running with it and going around here and telling other people what's going on. Like this whole situation has spiraled out of control.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? Who is this saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
Now, if you know the people that's over here gossiping and watching you and stalking you and doing all of this stuff like that and making your life just so uncomfortable, right? What would you do? Like, if you continue to stay down this path, how do you continue to remain sane? Like, so you have all of these different things. You have all of these different narratives that are facilitating this nonsense. You got you here, you not really wanting to be here. You're not happy here. They don't want to be here. They never wanted to be here. They done lied to you, misled you, made you feel like they was going to give you something else more than what they was able to give you. They over here feeling ashamed and embarrassed. Not at you, but more so with them. And now they over here getting caught up with a friend of a friend. Like somebody who's over here acting like they're a friend. And they're not. And I'm telling you, the people are talking. The people are talking. Person A, whoever this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is, baby, they can't go nowhere without people talking. Now, what is this trying to teach you? Baby, you got to pay attention to the red flags. Okay? You got to pay attention to the red flags. You've been having all of the signs. All of the signs have been here. Okay? All of the signs have been here. And now you got this 3 of Cups in reverse that talks about infidelity and 3 being a crowd. Okay? This is trying to teach you that you got to start paying attention to all of the red flags when you see them. This ain't the first time. See, if you recall, when we was talking about the energy that was here, we already talked about person A being an obsessive lover, dangerous, toxic, unhealthy, possessiveness, and a karmic partner. We already talked about them being spiteful and jealous and full of envy. Okay? This is not the first time. But you just felt like in your heart, because we talk about this so much, y'all. We talk about this so much, y'all. Okay? You walking around here collecting red flags like this is flag football.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
But this person showed you who they were all along. But you thought for some reason in that twisted mind of yours that because y'all done spent X number of months and years together, you mistaken quantity of time for quality of relationship. And the reality is this person just thought that you were cool enough to kick it. They never saw you in this way. That's why they're embarrassed that they got caught up with you with this pregnancy. They never tried to hide the fact that they weren't interested in you for real, for real. They just thought that you was cool enough to kick it. And now that you're here, both of y'all are feeling just so miserable because you're here and you're in a situation that you did not really want to be in. And then you wonder why this person doesn't want to open up to you. It's because they don't want to open up to you. Let's be clear about that. They don't want to open up to you because they don't want you in their space. And I hate to say it, but now this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius has finally waken up and realized that. Part of this is the ego. Part of this is the ego. Part of this is, just trying to save face, right? Part of this is like, okay, you know what? If you're not going to do this, then I'm just going to leave you alone. Cool. This is what they kind of wanted anyway, right? So while there is shame and embarrassment here, there is relief on behalf of this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, because now it's like, okay, Maybe we getting some type of forward movement, but they're not necessarily happy with how this is making them feel too. They actually feel very bad about how this is coming out.
Denied.
Okay, now, what do you need to do to heal? What is you need to do? It's time for you to focus on your new beginnings. It's time for you to focus on the things that are out there in the world that can offer you something else better than this. Again, it kind of goes back to that narrative of who's gonna want me? You know, who's gonna want me with my baby? Who's gonna want me with these children? Who's gonna want me after all of this time? But the reality is, once you start moving on with your life and putting yourself out there, you never know who's gonna want you the way that you are. Okay? You never know. But you're being negative and cutting off your nose to spite your face. And you have to remain positive, in which you are feeling positive because you are excited about the relief. You're just so tired of being in this situation. That makes you feel good. But I do think that as you go through your grief, you do have your moments where you just like, you know what? This is not what's up. Like, this is sad.
I'll do the best I can with what I got. Oh!
Okay? This is where I go back to the earworm for today. You know, when she said, bulldoze my heart as if you planned it. My prince was so unjustly handsome. Who was that knight in shiny armor? I could have sworn you loved me harder. Okay? So there is some confusion here. There's a lot of confusion here. It's like, how did we get to this point to where you creeping it with the girl that worked down at Walmart at the hotel? How did we get here? How did we get here? How did we get here where we had this child and we over here just going through the flow? I don't like you, you don't like me. I can't stand being at home, you can't stand being at home with me. How did we get here? You sleeping on the couch, I'm sleeping in the bed. How did we get here? Oh, y'all ain't been stuck in a relationship before. Y'all quiet this morning. All right, what do they need to do, Spirit? What do they need to do? Accept the fact that this is not a happy home. Accept the fact that your happiness will never be here. Okay? This is literally what it is. This is literally what it is. Y'all gonna be in a co-parenting situation and that's it. Nothing else is coming out of this. And that is the realization that this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius started to come into. That's where this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius started to walk into this and was just like, okay. All right, cool. I'm just gonna be your baby mother. Let's go down to the courthouse. Let's organize all of this stuff. You know, if I need to put you on child support, cool. If I need to have the judge solidify arrangements, cool. Let's work out this custody. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I'm about to move on and I'm about to find my happiness because this is senseless. You over here embarrassing me in these streets. You out here sleeping with this girl. There's evidence of all this nonsense. I'm being harassed on social media.
There are multiple video evidence, social media evidence.
Baby, it's time. What else can I ask for? It is time. Damn. We got the Lovers in reverse. I just told you, you guys have finally come into the realization that this is never going to be a happy situation. This is never going to give you the happily ever after that you are wanting. This is never going to become the relationship of your dreams. This is never going to be none of that. All you're going to continue to receive is what you've continued to get, which is nothing but a bunch of stagnant energy. that's going to frustrate the hell out of you. Which goes back to why you feel stuck. But this also goes back to the undercurrent that we've been talking about you being intentionally aligning yourself with the people who have the same morals, values, and beliefs that you do. This person is giving me the energy of, I'm just playing the field. I'm just out here trying to enjoy my life. I never expected to get caught up in this situation with you and have children with you. They never expected this. They was just trying to get some. That's all they was trying to do.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
They was just trying, listen, this person in this situation, baby, was there attraction here? Yes. Was it like relationship attraction? No, it was all lust. They just wanted to come around for a good time, not a long time. That was it. That was it. A good time, not a long time. Now, they done outstayed their welcome. And now this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is at the point where they just like, you know what? How about you just get on out? Like, let's just stop pretending. Let's stop acting like you want me and I want you. We look good on Facebook, but that's about as good as it gets. Period. You coming in all time of night. You staying out all weekend. You coming in smelling drunk. You don't help me with nothing. What are you staying here for?
You put some time.
Okay, like what are we doing here, right? Now, this was very disappointing for this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The way that this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius has been conducting themselves has been very, very disappointing. I go back to what I always say. It feels as though Aries, Leo, Sagittarius was definitely in a space where they thought that something was going to change with this person. You definitely had like this quiet hope that they were going to someday wake up, someday realize, someday choose you, and they just never did. A person could only fake for so long. Okay? A person could only fake for so long. And they have it has run its course. So now they're not even hiding it no more. Like now they're not even pretending that they want something. I said what I said earlier. When I said they may care for you because you're their child's mother, they're not in love with you. They don't want to be with you. Okay? They don't want that. And you finally are coming out of the fog and finally are like, oh. So like, what are we doing this for? Holding on. Holding on. Holding on. You've been holding on. Like I said in the beginning, this person gave you a lot of false promises, set a lot of false expectations. This person definitely created this fantasy. And they couldn't own up to it. They couldn't own up to it. So for those of you who are this message is resonating with, when did you wake up and realize that they were not being honest with you? When did you wake up and realize that you were believing a fantasy that was never going to come true? Don't stop believing. I just had to say that. Because this person really put you in a bad predicament. This person really put you in a bad predicament. But let's be clear. You were there because you wanted to be there. And this is what facilitated that negativity on your behalf. Okay? You were fearful of loss. You were fearful of being judged. Because you were not anticipating on being anybody's baby mom. You just got caught up in a situation. And you thought that, honest to God, that this baby was going to change this person. And it didn't. It didn't. Now that you're no longer holding on false hope, believing the lies and the false narratives, things are starting to open up for you. Okay? Which is where I go back to you being gracious and full of gratitude, right? Because the moment that you stop focusing all your energy on this emptiness, and see, like, I feel like I see you getting your ego back, your confidence back, like your stride back. You're walking on and moving on with your life. And that's where this gratitude is coming in. Like, you know what? I don't have no hard feelings for you. Out of this, I got a beautiful child. Out of this, I had blah, 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 blah. I see that, right? I see that. And this is where it's like, you know what? That appreciation is here because you're getting unstuck. And it's like, you know what? I am now seeing what I will not deal with in the future. I am now seeing that this is something that is not for me. This is not serving my greatest and my highest good, right? You're seeing all of this, right? Now, it is interesting. Because at the end of the day, people still going to be talking. People are still going to be talking. Okay? People are still going to be talking. And you have to come to the conclusion that it ain't what I thought it was going to be. There was nothing more ever coming of this connection. And that is the same energy that we have been talking about this whole time that we've been here. We've been talking about this for the last few minutes. This was never going to amount to anything. This was never going to amount to anything. That was the hardest pill to swallow. That was the hardest pill to swallow. And I'm going to be honest with you. For this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that's in this instance, they're more so ashamed because their name is being slandered in social media. And the crazy part about it is that this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius thought they was doing something by putting them on Front Street. That just really only made them feel more attractive. So you thought that you were blocking them from getting attention from other women. No, baby, you just helped amplify it. It made other people curious. And I feel sad for them because they're curious about somebody who's going to do the same thing to them that they did to you.
You seem like the type of woman who still falls and can get as stupid as the rest of us girls.
Do you think I'm gullible?
I think that you can be.
Well,
with the right man.
Yeah, no. I'm not gullible. You get stupid. I'm not going to be stupid anymore.
You see what I'm saying? You're no longer gullible. You're no longer being naive. You're no longer being deceived. You are no longer feeling entrapped by this. You have had the realization that this is never going to materialize into anything more than what it is. You finally woke up. And that's here with this hangman in reverse. No, actually it's upright. Sorry. Okay? You are no longer in that place where it's like, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to continue to go through here anymore. I'm at the point in my life where I'm happy. I'm accepting my fate. And I'm willing to just do whatever it is that I got to do. But as for you, how about you go ahead and get out? That's where we are with this. All right? So, if you are ready to get into the final steps and outcome, all right? Potential final steps and outcome. I want you to go ahead and find those paper, pen, notebook emojis because it's time for us to take notes and see how this story ends with the potential final outcome. Now, while we do that, I want you to think about what feelings and emotions that you possibly need to process in order for you to really release this situation and move on with your life. Okay? Like, what is it that you need to do to empower yourself? All right? What is it? How can you try to move on from this? Like, it's just, I understand the devastation. I understand the disappointment. But I think that what's most important is for you to know that life does move on. And the question is, like, why are you so fearful about moving on? Don't you think of yourself just a little bit more greater than what you've allowed yourself to fall into, like this snare, this trap, right? Yeah, this is more like a snare. Yeah. This trap. The trap doesn't kill you. It just encaptures you. And you've been held captive. All right? So here we go. Now, as we talk about final outcomes, okay? I only say potential because you have free will and everything ain't for everybody. Some of you may decide that it's more important for you to stay in a relationship with your child's father because you don't want to be a single parent household and all that stuff like that. And I get it. As a woman with a child, and I'm not married to that person, I understand, you know, the need for both parents to be there. I get it, right? And I also get how it's important for children to see their parents happy. And I challenge people, when you come from trauma wounds of loss, and when you come from childhood wounds of like your parents arguing and, you know, just things like that, when I challenge people, when you feel like you are forced to stay somewhere, what were your memories, right? What were your memories? Because it's better for a child to see a parent happy and at peace without all that drama than to grow up in a household that's dysfunctional, chaotic, and breaking down at the seams, okay? Like, children remember that too, you know? You ain't gonna be the first or the last only single parent, you know? Like, people get divorced all the time. You know, I'm not promoting that, but what I'm saying is we're talking about quality of life, health, and well-being, okay? And at this point, you are stressing yourself out, trying to hold on, white knuckling a relationship and causing someone else to be miserable because you don't want to let go. Neither one of y'all want to let go, and I've said that. Both of y'all are feeling stuck. But if this person just be honest and stop trying to save face, saying that they want to be somewhere that they don't want to be, the world will start shining again. Things will start being forward movement. But you got them trying to hold on to you because they don't want their kid growing up in a single parent household, but they don't want to commit. Like, make it make sense. You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways. This is unhealthy. This is toxic in every way, shape, form, or fashion. And I see this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius getting to the point where they just like, you know what? How about this? How about you get the out? That's it. We got the 9 of Wands. It's no more pretending. It's no more pretending. It's no more trying. It's no more effort. It's just like, I have hit the boiling pot. I have hit the boiling temperature. I am at capacity. Like, there is nothing you can say. There is nothing you can do to change my mind about this. I am leaving you. I am leaving this. I am no longer pretending that I'm going to be happy in this situation, like something's going to change. I realize, recognize, and accept that nothing in this situation is going to change. Whatever you don't change, you choose. So you can't control the actions of this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't care how much stalking you try to do. I don't care about how much threatening and acting crazy you want to do. At the end of the day, you're not embarrassing them. You're embarrassing yourself. And that's where you have come to the conclusion that, like, there's nothing I can do to save this. Okay? There's nothing you can do to save this. You're trying to have conversations with this person to figure out, like, how you're going to be able to move forward. I definitely see, I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. I definitely see this person, this Aries or Sagittarius, going down to the courts, trying to figure out child support situations, going before the court, trying to get, like, visitation and, like, custodial things. Like, I see this being legalized. I see there being, and let's be clear. The formality of this is because this person is being spiteful. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. They're doing it, they're using this approach with the intention of trying to make this other person miserable. And they're taking this information and putting it all on social media. I talked about that before, but I'm talking about it again now. Okay? I'm talking about it now. You know? Now. But this is about you coming into this transformation. Okay? You needed this to happen. Remember, I told y'all that with this favorable card. You needed this to happen in order for you to grow and to evolve. Okay? And this is going to be quick action. Like, once the mind has been made up, that's it. That's it. And let's be clear. As we talk about this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that's in this situation, that's trying to save face, of course they're going to try to make it look good. Right? Of course they're going to try to make it look good. Of course they're going to try to, like, oh, look at me. I don't want that man. That man wants me. Like, the lies that they're telling themselves. You understand? The lies that they are literally telling themselves to convince themselves, you know, that this is more than what it is. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, this man didn't want you no more than he wanted the woman on the moon. Okay? They just felt trapped in a situation that they couldn't get out of. Now, do they need to be held accountable for what they did? Absolutely. They led you they misled you. They fed you a salad full of lies. They sure did. They sure did. They fed you a lie. They told you a fantasy, and they lied to you. They gassed you up with nowhere to go. They absolutely did.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
And you believed them because you didn't have no choice. You didn't have no reason not to believe them. But now that the math ain't math, then baby, you done hit the brakes hard. And you out of talking. You out of talking. Everything that this person has told you has been determined to be a lie. So this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius is in a very peculiar space. Because like I said in the beginning, a part of them wants to move on. A part of them is sick and tired of being sick and tired. Ironically, Mariah Carey is an Aries. But anyway, sick and tired of being sick and tired. But on the other hand, it's like, ooh, I don't think I have what it takes. And two things can be true at the same time. Two things are true at the same time. But the reality is, you finally are waking up and smelling the coffee that you bought all of this man's lies.
All a bunch of bullshit.
And the reality is, they're not feeling good about themselves either. Now, they will never tell you this. They will never admit to this. But baby, when I tell you, they are not feeling good about themselves either. They're not feeling good about themselves either. And I don't know why I just heard this, but let me also say, it is very possible that this person has another baby on the way with somebody else. And that could be what the recording was about, that announcement, the social media conversations. That is very, very, very crazy. Oh, child, this is crazy. If you know who this person is, can you just put a black heart in the chat? If you know who person B is, put a black heart in the chat. Ooh. This person is so manipulative. This person is a gaslighter. This person is a master gaslighter. They create these narratives. They create these lies. And then when you start holding them accountable, they want to start playing dumb. And then when you bring up stuff that they say, they just like, what?
What do you mean by that?
But the reality is, I'm just repeating to you what you said to me, and you over here looking at me like a deer in headlights, like I done spoke a foreign language. This person, I'm going to tell you this now. Y'all not going to like me when I say this. But this person, see, when you play with people, karma does come back. And sometimes it boomerang back faster than others. And sometimes it's a slow burn. Sure is. Yep. And with this person, ain't no outrunning this. When you plant them seeds, you either gonna get flowers or you gonna get weeds. One of the two, but everything you do in life is a seed being planted. And you don't know what the byproduct of your seed is gonna be until it's time to reap that harvest. And with this person, they are definitely about to reap the harvest.
Hey, Stu, your rent's due, motherfucker.
Okay? And when I tell you, they about to reap this, all this that they done planted, oh baby. Which is also why they are over here dealing with shame, guilt, and embarrassment, knowing that they are in the wrong. Knowing that they're in the wrong. And when I tell you, I feel just a little bit sad for them, but really not really. But I do feel just a little bit sad for them. I do. I feel just a little bit sad for them. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to do it. I mean, both of y'all are kind of like feeling blocked and guarded right now. I'm going to be honest with you. Both of you are. But this needed to happen. This person B needed to be scared. Both of y'all needed to be scared straight. Let's say that. Person A, if you are coming in as this Aries or your Sagittarius energy, you are supposed to come to the realization to stop playing games with people. Stop playing games with people. If somebody is not giving you, I don't care what they words say. If their actions are not aligning with what they are doing, okay, then it's time for you to leave this shit alone. And I hate to say it that way because y'all know I like to censor myself. But this is for you to know that it is time for you to leave this shit alone. Stop touching a hot stove and expect not to get burned. Okay? You got all the warning signs, all the indicators that this is not for you. And you just keep on persevering through thinking that you got magical coochie and you gonna change somebody. That ain't how this works. You thought this baby was gonna change this person. It didn't. You thought you fussing and cussing was gonna get them to change. It didn't. You thought that making them move in with you was gonna change. It didn't. None of your magic is working, baby.
I'll do the best I can for what I got. Oh!
See how you struggling? See how you struggling? All you gotta do is walk away. You over here lying to convince yourself. But you're not even believing your own lies. The things that you telling yourself is just like, dang.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
Okay? Now, for this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they needed this wake-up call too. You need to stop playing games, people. Stop misleading people. Stop lying to people. Stop telling people things that are not true. They've gotten by their whole life living a bunch of lies. This person is a master liar. A master liar. They know what they know how to get what they want out of people, and they use that against them. You know? Now, we got the Three of Swords. No longer deceived. No longer being not aware. Like, you're very clear. This is never going to go anywhere. Why am I now picking up on the fact that this person may have multiple children by multiple different women? That may not resonate with all of you who this message is resonating in totality, but it feels like for somebody, this is wildly specific. This person has multiple children with multiple different women, and you thought that you were going to be special. And now you're finding out that you're not.
Uh-oh. Now we're in trouble.
Whew. So not only did he get you pregnant, but he got somebody else pregnant at the same time or shortly thereafter. And then he already has babies with other people. This is a pattern. This person doesn't believe in wearing condoms either. And then my question then becomes, if this is how you truly feel about who you are, like, how do you have the audacity to be ashamed? How do you have the audacity to feel guilty or embarrassed? Like, this is who you are. Own it. Like, if this is who you are, be who you are, boo. Be all you can be in life.
I just saw a messy man.
See, that's the problem that I have with this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're walking around here making you feel special, making you feel like they don't do this with everybody. This ain't how they move. That's a part of the lie. That's a part of the game that they've been playing. This is crazy. No wonder why Aries, Leo, Sagittarius over here being obsessed. Because they believed the lies this whole time. They had you thinking that it was going to be... It makes sense why you're disappointed. It makes sense why you're heartbroken. But I also am telling you that now it is starting to come through. Now it is starting to come through where it's just like, you know what? How about you? Get the fuck out. Like, that's what we are.
Get that garbage out of here.
Okay? I told you. I've been hearing her say this over and over again. And that's why it's like, you know, I could have sworn you loved me harder, because this person has led you to believe that it was more to this connection than what it really is. And if you really be honest with yourself, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and you go back and you look over this, you will realize that this person never, ever, 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 ever. Now, y'all know I'm mocking my cousin now. But you know that this person never delivered on anything. It goes back to what I said before. You was collecting red flags like it's flag football. Every lie this man told you, you just like,
another one.
And you fell victim to it. And now you just at that point where you're just like, I don't have nothing else to give. How about you just go ahead and get the out? Dang. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, I hope when you leave this relationship, I hope that you really do go get therapy. I'm not saying that to, you know, belittle you. I'm saying this to empower you, right? There was a lot of things that happened in this relationship that you're going to have to work to get your healing about. This ain't just about moving on, right? This is about you positioning yourselves to be in a situation to where you can trust again. Okay? Well, you understand that this rejection was not about you. This is a reflection of this person. All right? How do you get to a point in your life where you're not dealing with the wounds of insecurity and inadequacy, right? This is definitely one of those things where it's like you're going to have to work for your healing. And let's be clear, this Gemini, Libra, Aquarius needs counseling and therapy too. But I'm going to be honest with you, they lack self-awareness. They lack self-awareness. So one of the first things you need in order for counseling and therapy to be effective is to have self-awareness. They don't have that. They have their moments where they feel ashamed and they feel disgusted about themselves. They don't care that they don't have no money left over for child support. They don't care. It feels like this person is giving me energy, you know? This person feels like they just a deadbeat. And that's going to have to be something that you're going to have to struggle to overcome as well. But this also goes back to like, who's going to want me? Why would somebody want to be with me? You know, da-da-da-da-da. And what I'm telling you, what I am telling you with this is you have got to have some confidence about yourself and trust that it is going to work out. People marry people all the time. They got kids. Blended families are a thing. It's more of a thing than not. Okay? It's more of a thing than not. But you're going to have to overcome this disappointment of being promised the world and not given anything. Oh, this is weird. Anybody know what Nick Cannon what is Nick Cannon sign? Because this is giving me like Nick Cannon vibes. Let me look him up real quick. No wonder. Oh my God. No wonder. He is a Libra. This is too funny, y'all. I did not, now y'all know, if y'all been here the whole time, y'all know I did not plan this. I did not see this coming. We are literally talking about Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon's energy. This is craziness. He was born October 8th. Now that makes sense. It's giving me like this Nick Cannon vibe. I got kids all over the place. I'm not with none of the mamas. I know I'm wrong, but I don't feel bad about it. Like, it's a weird energy. It's weird. Ooh, child. Oh, let's get out of this business. Oh, child, let's get out of this business. One thing I would tell you is, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you will survive. You always have, you always will. All right? All right? Embrace courage. I just said that. You will survive. You will move on. Open your heart, learn from experiences, and let answers unfold on your journey. Okay? Open up your heart. Embrace what has happened. It is what it is. No, it ain't an idea, but life moves on. It is what it is. This is a learning lesson. I don't know how old you are. Y'all drop y'all ages down in the chat. I'm just curious. How old are you and how old is your person? And the reason why I'm asking this question is because at this point, I'm 40 years old. Well, I'm not 40 no more, Lord. I done told a lie. I'm 41. Okay? And at this age, you start to realize that life is not as cookie cut as you think it's going to be. You start to come into the realization that you can have all the dreams and the aspirations that you want, and life just sometimes does not happen that way. And you come into the awareness of knowing that sometimes it's to your benefit that things didn't happen the way that you wanted it to happen. You know, as I said in the beginning of this reading, I'm in a co-parenting situation. I have a child. And when I tell you, I would never, ever, ever want to be with my son's father, ever. Okay? But I appreciate what that relationship taught me. And at this point in life, it's like at this age, it is more so of a rarity to meet people that don't have kids and who ain't never been married. So you may meet somebody who's been married before, they don't have kids. You may have somebody that you meet that's been married before and got kids. You may meet somebody who's never been married but got kids. It is such a rarity. If I meet a person at this point in time and they tell me they've never been married and never had no kids, I'm wondering if you're telling the truth. I'm just being honest. I'm wondering if you're telling the truth. And I say that because statistically speaking, there's more women than there are men. So how is that possible? You see what I'm saying? But, you know, anything is possible. You might just be super safe, okay? But nevertheless, don't feel ashamed that you may have some things from your past going with you into the future, okay? Don't feel ashamed about that. People will love you. People will meet you and all of that. People meet you where you are, all right? So with that being said, I'm going to get out of this business. Thank you so much for tuning into the Pisces Tarot Experience, y'all. If you've enjoyed this reading, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and become a part of my growing community. You can find me on YouTube at Mimi Lightseer and keep an eye out for more engaging content coming your way. Remember, this reading is here for you whenever you need some guidance, so feel free to save it and replay it at any point in time. I love to hear from you. So drop a comment in the section below and let me know what resonated with you and what didn't. And if you enjoyed today's reading, go ahead and show me some love by giving me a thumbs up. If you would like to do a personal reading with me, feel free to reach out. My booking is available in the bio at PiSeasTarot.com. Don't hesitate to reach out. As a reminder, I would never reach out to you to solicit you for a reading. So if you are being conned by a scam artist, please know that it wasn't me. Okay, it is not me. It was not me. I have other things to do with my time than to reach out to ask you for a reading and all that other nonsense. If you see this stuff, take a screenshot, report it, do all of that. If you can send it to me, that's great, because then I can take that to use it against these fraudsters, okay? A huge thank you to everybody who has joined the conversation today, and a warm welcome to everybody who has joined my team as being a part of my family and my new subscribers. To all the people who have gifted me not only your time, your talent, and your treasure, thank you, thank you, thank you. Listen, y'all. Everyone is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So remember to be kind and patient and gentle with yourself as much as others. How people treat you is not your problem, but how you respond is, okay? So remember, wherever you go, to leave a little bit of love, okay? And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.